afternoon. Matt Griffin here with Payson Petroleum. We're continuing our series on the 10 most frequently asked questions of an oil and gas investment and of oil and gas companies. So I'm joined with Dan Nichter, our Director of Client Relations, who's new to the team, and we're glad to have him. So Dan, what question are we on right now?
Well, one of the major questions, or a couple of questions, try to clear up a couple terms for me if you would. One is, what is the decline in production rate, in the proper way to express that, as opposed to a depletion allowance?
Okay. Good. One's a financial, well, they're really both financial questions, but one's a production issue, one's more of your tax issue. So let's start with a decline rate. What a decline rate is, you have an initial production of, let's say, 200 barrels a day. And out a lot of these shale plays that you hear about, the Bakken, the Marcellus, the Haynesville, those typically have a hyperbolic decline curve. So if you will, think of it as it starts off really big, then tapers out pretty fast, and then flatlines for quite a while. What we're doing, that was not something we wanted to do for any of our projects. We wanted something that had a lot more of a straight line decline curve. So it operated a lot more on a point-to-point rather than a hyperbolic curve. So an example where we're doing the average decline rate's about 8% annual, anywhere from 8 to 12%. So in our figures, we usually budget 16, but that's pretty conservative. But 8 to 10%, 12% is what we're seeing up in the area. So
that's a reduction in the output.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And so that would mean that this well would possibly be productive for 8 to 10 years. Is that?
No, and that's kind of the thing I first thought when I heard it too. But no, you think about, okay, you're taking 100%, then year 2 you're at 92% of what that initial production is, and then year 3 you might be at 92% times 92%. So it doesn't just keep dropping off 8%, so that at the end of 12 years or so that you're done. It is. These wells up here have lasted, the average lifespan per zone is 19 and a half years. So that's one of the things we first looked at, and then with the multiple pay zones and all that, that's why the wells up there have produced for over 60 years.
Very good.
And then the second question you touched on was depletion allowance. Depletion allowance is something that the government has instituted for the decline like we're talking about, to help offset in taxes. So every year, every paycheck that an investor gets, 15 cents of every dollar, so 15% of that is tax-free. So if an investor writes a check and at the end of the year he made $50,000 on his investment, only, let's see here, I guess 7,500 of that would be tax-free. So he would not have to pay taxes on that. So that's what a depletion allowance is. They give it a flat 15%, where we are is about 8%. Like I said, there's areas of the country that are much greater than that, but the government allows for 15%.
Excellent, thank you.
Again, hopefully this continues to help educate you, whether you are a current investor, someone who's looking to invest, or somebody who just wants to know more about the industry. So if you have any further questions about depletion allowance, or what our decline curves are, or just anything about the oil and gas business in general, please feel free to contact us directly at 940-455-5555, or look us up on the web at www.paysonpetro.com. We thank you for taking time to get to know us. We look forward to getting to know you further in the future.